Well, everybody, those of you who are married may remember this day in your lives with affection, and those of you who are not yet married may look upon this time with a certain fascination, whether it be in the form of longing or in the form of denial that this will ever happen to you. But regardless of whether you're celebrating your present marriage or forgetting about a future one, it is clear that what we are celebrating here in the present. Matt and Nicole. I can only offer a little bit of insight on what it must be like for Matt and Nicole right about now. There is the youthful elation of starting a new chapter in one's life, and there is also the nervousness over what the future may hold. But with two radiant and vibrant young people like Matt and Nicole, I'm sure we all feel confident that no obstacle will be insurmountable in their relationship. Nicole, I'm glad you were patient enough to become a member of our family. But of course, I have a couple tips for you. You know, when Matt and I were kids, we read a lot of comic books together, and, you know, all the sort of characters in those comic books have a lot of superpowers and stuff. So I know you're a Kelly now, but I'm just urging you not to lose your powers. Anyhow, you know,
yes.
And anyhow, Matt likes movies a lot too, and I just want you to know that if he says anything crazy, like he's a time traveler back from the future, come here to save you or anything like that, you know, it's just him remembering some of his favorite movies, as he likes to do, you know. But in all seriousness, I wanted to mention that for a long time now, whenever Matt and I had any sort of toast to do or anything like that, I would always bring up the movie It's a Wonderful Life, because there's a scene in that movie where at the end where George's brother is like, to George Bailey, the richest man in town, you know, and I would always bring that up to Matt whenever we had to toast to anything. He'd always say, "Why do you always say that? Doesn't make any sense." But it makes perfect sense right now, you know. Well, just like George Bailey in that film, Matt and Nicole are surrounded by hundreds of loving people, all gathered to commemorate the marriage of the two of the most loving and caring people I know, one of whom happens to be my brother. With that being said, this is to Matt and Nicole.
Bravo.